Hello everyone. So in the last class we have already discussed about the MTP, that is the medical termination of pregnancy. So in this class I will discuss about the purpose, the aim of MTP, why MTP is done, for what purpose it is done. So why MTP? Why it is done? Number one reasons: to get rid of unwanted pregnancies. To get rid of unwanted pregnancies. So if a woman unintentionally gets pregnant, so the couple may have MTP. They can terminate or abort the child intentionally. Next, in rape case situation. In rape case situation. In rape case situation, MTP is done. Suppose by chance the victim, the girl, gets pregnant. So in that case what will happen? MTP is performed to get rid of those unwanted pregnancies. So next comes, it is done when pregnancies are harmful for the mother. It is done when pregnancies are harmful or fatal. Suppose by performing some tests, some deduction tests such as amniocentesis. One method is there, amniocentesis. So what the doctors or experts do in amniocentesis, they take out the amniotic fluid from the pregnant lady and test it. If they find some genetic difficulties or any chromosomal abnormalities, if they find any genetic difficulties or any chromosomal aberrations, so in that case, if the child is detected with these types of problems, so in that case MTP is done. In another case, it is done in case of ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy. In case of ectopic pregnancies. Ectopic pregnancy means the pregnancy which occurs outside the uterus, but not in the uterus, somewhere else outside the uterus. Outside the uterus. It may be inside the fallopian tube. Outside uterus, it may be in fallopian tube. Anywhere in the fallopian tube, the means implantation occurs in the fallopian tube, not in the uterus. So the pregnancy begins only in the fallopian tube. So what happens if the means pregnancy continues in the fallopian tube and it's not detected in the early stage, what will happen? It may damage nearby organs. It may damage nearby organs, and also what happens? It may cause life-threatening blood loss from the pregnant lady. Life-threatening blood loss. So this is called ectopic pregnancy. So in case of ectopic pregnancies, MTP is also done. So this ectopic pregnancy, we can say extrauterine pregnancies. So another name of ectopic pregnancy, you can say extrauterine pregnancy. This is the another name for ectopic pregnancy. So why MTP is done? To get rid of unwanted pregnancies in rape case situation, by chance if the victim gets pregnant, and also it's done when the pregnancy is very harmful for the mother or fatal. And the last one, it can be done in case of ectopic pregnancy or extrauterine pregnancies. So next we will see the significance. The significance of MTP. Significance. It plays a important role directly or indirectly. It plays a very important role in decreasing human populations. Important role in decreasing human population. Though it's not a birth control method, so directly or indirectly it helps in decreasing the human population. So next comes the drawbacks. So in spite of the significance, there are still some drawbacks of MTPs. What are those? Number one, it can be misused. It can be misused. It can be misused to abort normal female fetus. It can be misused to abort normal female fetus. Means some couples are there who secretly determines the sex of their baby, determines the sex of their baby, and if they found it a baby girl inside the uterus, and what do? They secretly go in some clinic, consult with a doctor to abort the normal female fetus because it's a baby girl, it's a female. So they perform female, it's called female feticide. Female feticide, and it's a crime. So next comes majority of unqualified doctors. Majority of unqualified doctors performs MTP. Majority of the unqualified doctors performs MTP They perform the MTP, but they don't have the proper knowledge how it can be done, how it's done. So some couples will go to the unqualified doctors and perform MTPs, which can be very fatal for that woman. So these are some drawbacks. Another one, it has raised many social and emotional issues. It has raised many social and emotional issues. So we have discussed about what is MTP, what is the meaning of MTP, why MTP is done, what is the significance, it plays an important role in decreasing human population, and what are the drawbacks of MTP. So now we will come to a next point, next topic. That is called STD. The last part of this chapter, reproductive health. STD. As I have told you earlier, what is STD? Sexually transmitted diseases. Sexually transmitted diseases. So, what is the meaning of STD? Disease which are transferred from one person to the another. Disease which transferred from one person to another through sexual contact. Disease which transfers from one person to the another, so sexual contact or sexual intercourse is called STD. So there are some causative agent. Causative agent means what are the carriers which can cause the sexual transmitted diseases. So let us see the causative agent. Causative agent means the pathogens. Pathogens, you know the meaning of pathogens. Number 1, bacteria. Number 2, these are some of the pathogens. Virus. Number 3, protozoa. Number 4, fungi, and many others are there. These are some of the pathogens. These are the causative agent of STD. I have mentioned some of them. So in bacteria you can give example. Bacterial diseases, gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is the name of a sexual diseases which is caused by bacteria. Gonorrhea, syphilis. Next comes example virus. So virus can cause genital herpes. Another one, genital warts. Genital herpes, genital warts. These are all related to the genitalia of human. Next comes protozoa. So You can take an example, trichomoniasis. This is the name of the diseases which is caused by protozoa. Trichomoniasis. Next, fungi. So what type of diseases caused by fungi? I will give you one example, candidiasis. Candidiasis. Candidiasis is caused by fungi. So these are the pathogens, bacteria, virus, protozoa, fungi, and these are the name of the diseases caused by them. So let us go to the details. Now comes how STD are transmitted. Modes of transmission. Modes of transmission. You already have the idea. Modes of transmission. Number one mode, sexual contact. Sexual contact with infected persons. Infected ones. Sexual contact with infected ones. Then sharing of injections, needles and surgical instrument. Sharing of injections, needles and surgical instruments. And number 3, blood transfusion. Blood transfusion from infected persons. Blood transfusions from infected persons. So these are some of the modes of transmission, how STD can be spread from one person to the another. Next comes preventive measures. How it can be prevented? Preventive measures. So number 1, avoid sexual intercourse with unknown partner. With unknown partner. Avoid sexual intercourse with unknown partner. Next, one should use protection during intercourse. One should use protection during intercourse. Number 3, if someone finds a doubt, then you should go to a qualified doctor. If someone find something doubt, or if someone is in doubt, he should go to a qualified doctor. He should go to doctor and immediately get checked. So these are the modes of transmission and these are the preventive measures. So now we will see the name of some confirmatory tests by which we can confirm whether the person have the STD or not. Confirmatory test. You have to remember just the name of the tests. No need to go for the details. Confirmatory test. So there are 3 tests: ELISA, DNA hybridization, Another one is PCR. PCR you know already, polymerase chain reaction. Polymerase chain reaction. So these are some of the confirmatory tests by which STD can be confirmed. Number 1, ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay test. Number 2, DNA hybridization, and number 3, PCR, polymerase chain reaction, means amplification of DNA fragments. Now comes to the details of the pathogens and their symptoms. Number 1, disease by viruses. Disease by viruses. Genital herpes. Genital herpes. So this is, don't confuse, this is the name of the diseases. This is the name of the diseases. And the causative agent is herpes simplex virus. Herpes simplex virus. So don't confuse. This is the name of the diseases and this is the name of the virus, means the pathogens, herpes simplex virus, remember. So we will see some of the symptoms. What are the symptoms of these diseases? Ulcer. Ulcer in nearby genitalia regions or pre-anal regions. Ulcer means you already know, in genitalia regions or pre-anal regions. Number 2, pain, fever, headache, pain, fever, headache, and sometimes discharge from vagina also occurs, and in male urethritis, the disease in the urethra, it occurs in male, and sometimes vaginal discharge also occurs. So these are some of the symptoms of genital herpes. So next comes, we will see STD by protozoa. We will see the protozoan diseases. Disease by protozoa. Trichomoniasis. Trichomoniasis. This is the name of the diseases, and the agent which cause diseases is Trichomonas vaginalis. Vaginalis. This is the scientific name. Always underline. This is the protozoan. These protozoa cause the disease trichomoniasis. So what are the symptoms? We will see the symptoms. Causes vaginitis. Vaginitis. Sometimes foul smelling, yellowish discharge. Foul smelling, yellowish discharge. Inflammation occurs in the vaginal area. Inflammation occurs. Burning sensation. Inflammation, burning sensation occurs. After that, in male, urethritis. In male it causes, this protozoa causes urethritis. So next we will see another disease. It's called Guyardiasis. Guyardiasis, name of the disease. The causative agent is Guyardia lamblia. Guyardia lamblia. Remember the name, Guyardia lamblia. So the symptoms are basically this protozoa attacks the in the colon part, in the stomach part, intestinal part of human. So the symptoms are epigastric pain, sometimes diarrhea also occurs, fever, etc. So it's generally transmitted, Guyardiasis is generally transmitted through contaminated food, and sometimes it may contact by sexual intercourse, and sometimes by sexual contact also. So these diseases we can take under the protozoan diseases caused by protozoa. We can take these diseases also, Guyardiasis. So next we will diseases by fungi, fungal disease. Diseases by fungi. What was the diseases? Candidiasis. So what is the pathogen? Candida albicans. Name of the fungi, scientific name of the fungi, and this is the disease candidiasis. It's also called vaginal yeast. This is one type of yeast which remain in the vagina of female. So what are the symptoms? We will see about the symptoms. Painful, inflammation of vagina, painful inflammation of vagina, often with cheesy, thick discharge. Often with painful inflammation of vagina, often with cheesy, thick discharge. Sometimes the conditions deteriorate much, so the discharge which comes out, the color of the discharge changes and it becomes sometimes greenish. So it's a severe condition. If left untreated, then the condition deteriorate and the discharge will be more greenish in color. So if it remain untreated, it will ultimately affect the cervix. These diseases will affect the cervix of female, and it may cause sometimes cervical cancer also. So if left untreated, so the condition will get worse and worse day by day, and ultimately it will reach the cervix of female and it may cause cervical cancer also. So next we will see diseases caused by bacteria. Diseases caused by bacteria. The diseases which I have mentioned here are all important. So go through these diseases and their symptoms. Number 1, gonorrhea. Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is caused by a bacteria named Neisseria gonorrhea. Neisseria gonorrhea. Scientific name should be underlined. Another one is there. The symptoms are more or less same. Syphilis. Syphilis. Syphilis is caused by a causative agent called Treponema pallidum. Treponema. Remember the names of those diseases, the name of the causative agent. These are all important. Treponema pallidum. Gonorrhea is caused by Neisseria gonorrhea. Syphilis is caused by Treponema pallidum. So, what are the possible symptoms? Symptoms. Number 1, painful urination. Painful urination. Urination. Painful urination. Number 2, in case of male, pus-like discharge. Pus-like, you know what is pus? Pus-like discharge from tip of penis. In case of male, pus-like discharge from tip of penis. Number 3, pain or swelling. Pain or swelling in one of testicles, means testes. Testicle. Pain or swelling in one of the testicles. The size of the testicles probably may get swelled and becomes bigger than the normal size, and pain will be there inside the testicle. Number 4, in case of female, vaginal discharge increases. Vaginal discharge increases. And last one, in case of female, pelvic pain occurs. Pelvic pain will occurs. So the symptoms of syphilis are more or less same like that of gonorrhea. So these are all about the STDs. So the name of the diseases with causative agent are very important. The name of the pathogens are very important in this topic. So STD is a very important threat to a healthy society. Very important threat. It very important means very danger for a healthy society. Healthy society. So earlier detection and earlier diagnosis and cure. Diagnosis of the disease, there are preventive measures. Preventive measures of those diseases and how it can be cured are some of the prime considerations under the reproductive healthcare programs. Means diagnosis, preventive measures and how it can be cured, the STD, how it can be cured are some of the prime consideration, means prime importance. Prime consideration of reproductive health society, reproductive health programs. So I have discussed about the STD, what does it means, what are the pathogens. I have given some of the name of pathogens with their with the examples and what are the preventive measures and how it gets transmitted, and after that I have discussed about the STDs, what are the causative agents in details. So this is all about the sexual transmitted diseases.